all covered in snow.
Yeah.
More sky snow.
Just like after.
It's really great.
You show all the houses and stuff for students.
And I pick these groups, so sometimes they're allowed to pick groups, sometimes they are I assign groups. So this is an actual project where I assign the groups. They're in groups of 4. They were divided, they each had specific roles they do. They usually do notes or something to begin their research, but this time I had them do just jump straight to doing the actual reports. They did a 2-page report on whatever the natural disaster was. So they did that, graded that, gave them feedback on that. Each group had a project manager who's going to receive a minimal amount of extra credit. So from there, they were able to design their project, work on it independently. They each had specific things that they were responsible for, but again, they had to work as a group to make sure all the elements were there.
4 people in each group?
There was a couple groups that had 3. If you had 3, you just didn't have to do one of them. Most of the groups elected not to do the timeline component. So.
And what were their actual titles?
The field scientist was responsible for creating a model that would simulate the natural disaster. The engineer was responsible for creating either an early warning system for it, whatever they could search themselves, or some kind of prevention campaign. The historian was responsible for creating a timeline of the natural event.
Oh, that's awesome.
To categorize important events or important scientists and pictures as well. And then the researcher was responsible for doing research for the group, also creating a poster board display of the natural disaster. Specifically, all 4 components and how they kind
mixed
of
together, and then put the whole thing as a full-on campaign for it. Yeah. That's awesome, dude. Yeah. So then, as far as the first week, how was the first week? Just basic research? Or?
Basic research. Spent about a week and a half on research. Some groups, the group we just saw with the flooding, they created their model pretty quickly, and they were just able to refine it. Some groups, as with most project bases, kind of meandered a little bit, but pulled off in the end. You can see, I think, with 4 groups, why I like having each person responsible for different things is working in groups. Sometimes certain people are picking up the slack for other group members, but here, just by looking at all 4 components, you're able to see who's doing what and who's contributing to it.
Did you ever have each one of all the engineers get together to discuss how they were attacking it all?
It did.
So how'd that go?
That was good. They were able to compare notes and see what they were doing, what problems they were having, if they could find any solutions.
And did they go back to the other groups and kind of share how the other people were attacking it?
Yeah, timeline groups specifically, like how are you going to display your timeline? Are you going to mount it on any kind of poster board and things like that? So I thought that was essential to have a couple days when they were able to meet with other groups. It was good too because they each picked individual natural disasters, so it gave them a chance to share some of the information that they had learned as well.
That's so cool. And as far as the grading goes?
It's 3 components, so they grade themselves within a group based on participation and activity towards the project. They get a component from me, and then they get a component from the class.
And then which one's the most valuable one? Awesome project, right? Good job. Yo, what is that?
It's our earthquake model.
Give it a pulse so you can see it.
The plates move. Wait.
That is awesome.
The houses are supposed to fall.
That's cool.
Sometimes
You can see this is Lil Maddie's campaign. Shake It Up Baby. You want to
we
show?
were gonna order sweatshirts. Okay, so my campaign is for earthquakes. I did all this stuff. Like there's gonna be a van like this that drives around, and they help teach people about earthquakes, and they sell these earthquake safety kits that you can carry out when there's an earthquake, and you can take it so you'll have enough food and things, and TV commercials, these are just some of the pictures from it.
Are you going to play the commercial today?
No, because I have it at home, but I couldn't send it to myself because it didn't work. But there's some pictures from it and all sorts of other things. Like there's a class that you can take about it, and carnival.
Tells you about the Richter scale and the whole 9 yards.
There's some animals that help with the class because you have to learn what to do with your pets. There's a carnival that you can go to that raises money, and there's gonna be fun games and prizes. Baby, that's so cool.
Awesome.
And food and games and bands and fun stuff. And we have these T-shirts that I designed, and we're gonna get the sweatshirts. And we're gonna get the sweatshirts, but we couldn't. And I kind of kept it fairly cheap because the whole cost for this whole ad campaign is $40,000, so that's pretty good.
Unbelievable! Great job, man. Can't wait to see the video.